Hello YouTube, this is BUB'S Comics coming at you with a Comic-Con haul. I was at the Cincinnati Comic Expo and had a great time, met some fellow YouTubers there. Just really had a good time. It was a great one. My wife and I were celebrating an anniversary. Just had a ball, went to the dance that night. It was just big fun. It's not too far away from me, definitely worth the drive. It wasn't like some sort of grand expedition, but we spent a couple nights in a nice hotel and just had a great time. So, you know, I know I'm always preaching about going to the small cons, but I also don't skip the big cons. So I guess I'm saying go to every con you can, right? If you can get there, go. I like the big cons for the big signatures, and sometimes you find bigger books. So here is the first thing I picked up, which I already had, Tomb of Dracula #1. This is now signed by Neal Adams. I know everybody has had various experiences with Neal Adams signatures, but honestly, I'm the type of person who I like to learn from other people's experiences when I can, not just my own failures or successes, but others as well. So for me, I tried to walk into this as clinically as possible, so there was no line, as I've never seen a line for Neal Adams. So there was no line. I walked right up to him. I tried to have exact change, but he raised his prices from the last time I saw him. 2 years ago I saw him at a con, or a year ago I saw him at a con. He was charging $40 a signature. This year it was $50. So when I walked up to him, I had $40 ready. I didn't have 50. So when I saw the sign, I quickly, threw another 20 in there. I hated to ask for change, but that's how it went. So I walked up. I didn't make any small talk or pleasantries or try to engage his personality, from which I'm told he doesn't have much of. So I just walked, or not a good one. So I just walked up to him and I said very simply, I said, he walked up. He said, "What can I do for you?" And I said, "I would like you to sign my Tomb of Dracula #1, please." He said, "Okay." So I took it out of the thing. I handed it to him. He signed it, and he said, "I'm going to let you put that back in there for me." I said, "That'd be fine. Thank you very much." And then I sidestepped to the right and handed the lady the money. She said, "Do you have any change?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm sorry, I don't." She's like, "Well, if you did, that'd be great." I said, "I know, but I don't. I'm sorry." Again, So then she gave me $10, and that was it. I walked away. So it worked out pretty good, I reckon. I was thinking that really no interaction was going to be the best interaction, so that's what I was hoping for, and that's what we walked away with. Tomb of Dracula #1, signed by Neal Adams. Very happy. I had bought this book in a lot of books on eBay and sold the other books, and kept this one for free. So this is my free book. It was also had a lot of damage on it that I was able to restore. You can look back at previous videos for that. So very happy to have this book signed by Neal Adams. It's the one I wanted. I have several Neal Adams books, but this is the one that I wanted signed. So happy to have that. Also rolling with the bigger signatures, I got this Secret Wars #8 signed by Mike Zeck, which I already had the Secret Wars #8, of course. I picked that up in a previous haul. But really, I have a small amount of signatures that I hunt, that I consider my Grail signatures. And Neal Adams and Mike Zeck are really on the top of that list. So very happy to have that one. That's just a beautiful signature. Great newsstand copy of that Secret Wars #8. Very happy to have that. Also, Mike Zeck was a fantastic dude, super chill, just a really nice guy. So another one that I was looking to get was John Bolton. So if you don't know John Bolton, he did a lot of the back covers to Classic X-Men, or X-Men Classic, however it's listed. This was the one I wanted the most. I've been waiting to get this signature on this book for almost a year. And there it is, John Bolton, right there. And I told him exactly where I wanted it, and he put it on there absolutely perfect. It's just the way that I wanted it. It's just perfect. It's going to go up on my signature wall. I know, to have John Bolton's signature is probably not the hugest deal. Everyone, going crazy over it. He was moderately priced, of course, and he even tried to barely charge me. He told me, "Don't tell anyone." Oops. Yeah. So he was really cool. I was dressed in cosplay for this event along with my wife, and he just really loved my cosplay. He was super nice, and just a pair of Brits, him and his wife, and I told him that I was chuffed to bits to meet him and get his signature, which is a line I picked up from JPL Flash. Thank you, and they were just floored by that, and they said that was a very upper crust English mannerisms, and really appreciated that throwback to old manners. So they were really a sweet couple, and the kind of people that I would be interested in every time I see them at a con. I'll stop and say hello and try and give them a little something, or get something signed. Just a fantastic one. While I was there, I got a couple more signatures from John Bolton because I had brought a bunch. I didn't know which ones to get exactly, but I knew I wanted this one for sure. So I also got this one. It's a great back cover as well to a classic X-Men. I forget the numbers because they're probably never going to get turned around again. This is the way I'll keep them. So there's another great one. And this one he signed on the front cover just because it was classic X-Men #1, and I probably will display that by the front cover. So that's an Art Adams picture, but he did the back cover, but he still signed the front. And then this one is Wolverine #5, I believe, from his first ongoing series, and he did the back cover art on that as well. Also picked up a couple of signatures from Rick Leonardi, who was there. He was also a very nice guy. I had him sign my Spider-Man 2009. You see it down there at the bottom. Looks pretty cool. And also I had him sign my Marvel Age #6. He did the cover art on this. Also, he was a big artist for Cloak and Dagger. The reason that I own this was an AOK from DS Comics, because he had showed it off in a hall, and I said, "Oh man, I want that book because it has the interior first publication appearance of Beta Ray Bill." So my son's a big Beta Ray Bill fan, and I am too, really, through him. So wanted to have those. I thought that was super cool. Almost done, not too much left. Probably keep it under 10 minutes. Then I picked up this book. I've been hunting this book hard. And every time I'm in the running on eBay, it just goes for more than I want to pay. There's a lot of like little miniature variants, like Pence variants and things like that are, they pop up a lot and they sell for higher dollars too. I didn't want to spend $65-70 on this book. But here is Marvel Premiere #28, the first appearance of the Legion of Monsters. If you've not read this story or this book, I won't spoil it for you, but I'll tell you this. It's a really interesting story. I love how they introduced all the characters. They took like 5-6 pages just to introduce the characters. And it really moves at a very slow pace, but an excellent pace. It's very tense, very interesting. You don't know what's going to happen. It's a big mystery, and it all wraps up in one page. And the last time that happened, if you may recall from a previous haul, it was Marvel Premiere Marvel Spotlight #3, and it just ended goofy. But this one did not end goofy. This one had a fantastic ending, and it had got to the point where I was reading towards the end, and I was like, "Oh man, tell me this isn't a to be continued or something," which didn't generally happen in the Marvel premieres. A lot of times they're more or less one shots. So I was like, "Tell me this isn't I'm gonna have to go hunt down Marvel Premiere 29 somewhere. It's probably gonna be a $2 book and take me 2 weeks to get it here, right?" So I was like, "Oh man, how are they gonna end this up and it still be good?" And then they did. They wrapped it up, and I'll tell you a little hint. The hint of the story is it only takes long to tell the story if you have to tell a happy ending. Because in a happy ending, you have every little plot line, every little character has to be sewn up and be happy about it in the end. And happiness is harder to create for each and every character because happiness is very unique to each of us. Whereas sadness is a much more universal concept, and you can have one event to cause sadness to millions of people. Whereas happiness, one event rarely causes happiness to millions of people. So anyway, this book ends sadly, but it's fantastic. And they really wrapped it up good, and it's a great story, and I highly recommend it, so much so that I don't want to give away the story. It's just that good. So Legions of Monsters, first appearance, Marvel premiere number 28, and I got it for $15. Holy cow. I was super happy. I went booth to booth, and everyone was telling me, told them, and I ran down the short list of the books I was looking for each dealer. There weren't a huge number of comic dealers, which is what happens at these larger cons. There was actually more comic dealers, I think, at the smaller cons I've been to all year than at this big con. And I give them all my list of books I'm looking for, and when I mention this one, they all kind of look up in their head, and they were like, is that the Legion of Monsters? Because I don't tell them what's important about the book. I just tell them, do you have Marvel Premiere number 28? And they go, is that Legion of Monsters? I said, yeah. And they're like, nope, don't have that. Good luck finding that book, is what everyone kept telling me. So of course I picked it up. Here is Wolverine number 70. That's volume 3, number 70. That's just a big deal for me, to have the Old Man Logan series. I was needing that. Picked it up for a song. Here's another one, Wolverine 72. That's been on my want list for several months. It was never off my want list, but I was really focusing on it the last several months and couldn't find a good copy in the wild, and finally did for a real good price, about a third of what I had been seeing it for. Very, very happy to have this book. Same dealer, so I bundled them together and got a deal on them. I think I paid $15 for the pair. I was very, very happy with that. This next book I already had. Superman 204, but of course it sets up one of the biggest pickups of the con for me, and that's Batman 608B. Super happy to find this book. It's a very difficult book to find reasonably priced. I'm embarrassed to say what I paid for this book because it was so low. He had it on the wall. It was a little wall book, and I gotta say I'm just absolutely shocked. I got it for a third of what I expected to have to pay for it. I had actually taken it off my want list because I was so sure that I would never find it at the price I was willing to pay. This book sells for anywhere around, it's usually about a $150 book in good condition, even raw. And my problem was that there's so many books that I want for that price that this book just kept getting pushed off the list because it was so high. Now, I'm more than a player at, $75, and I didn't even pay that for this book. So, to get this book for the price I did, I was absolutely floored. I could not believe it. He had a great deal on it, and I even was able to work it a little lower than that, which I probably should have taken it for the deal it was. It was a great deal, but at a con, sometimes I'm really counting my pennies. I was going around looking for a Werewolf by Night 32, did not find one. No dealer had one at the con. So the first thing I did, this was the first book I saw that I wanted, and I didn't buy it. And I waited, which is always scary. So I waited, I went around the con, I went to every dealer before I came back to see if he still had this book. And the reason that I did that was because I didn't want to end up being short on a Werewolf by Night 32 if they had one that I could afford, but now I can't because I bought this book. So I didn't want to have this book and cash in my hand. I wanted a Werewolf by Night 32. So couldn't find one. So as soon as I couldn't find one, I went through every dealer. Then I rushed back to this guy. Hush, whatever. So I rushed back to this guy, and he still had the book available. Plucked it off the shelf, worked him down a couple bucks, and snagged it. So super duper happy. And he had two of the other books that were on my want list. He said he had at the shop, and so I'm going to contact him today, and we're going to work out a deal. He's going to, PayPal or whatever, and he's going to mail them to me. So I will almost have picked up everything on my want list, save for 2 books that I went to the con to get. So super happy about that. This last one is just a personal book for me. I had a commission done by a fellow named Mason Easley, absolutely fantastic artist. I've had commissions done by him in the past. If you've seen previous videos, you've seen my Doctor Who commission that I had done with me and Eve Miles from Torchwood. And this is a picture of my wife and I for our anniversary. And that was the cosplay that I did. I was dressed as Wolverine Patch. and it went over real well. It was full tuxedo. I mean, it was legit. And it's a real tuxedo, not some sort of costume or anything like that. No, I wore an actual white jacket tuxedo with black tuxedo pants and shoes and bow tie, and it was all 100% legit, and a real eye patch, and had claws as well. So I thank everybody at the con who stopped me for pictures. That was fun. If you want to know how legit it looked, you can ask. Let's see who was there. C. Woodard was there. Matt from Funk Off was there, and a couple others. I didn't see everybody. I had heard that there were a couple other YouTubers there, but I didn't catch them. So Mason Easley did the artwork on this. He's absolutely fantastic. Find him on Instagram. Find him on, I guess he's on Facebook too. Just an absolutely fantastic artist. He's done work for me in the past. I suppose he's in the Cincinnati area. And so I commissioned this piece a couple of weeks, well, almost a month ago. And he's been working on it and sending me pictures along the way, and it's just been absolutely fantastic. So that's my wife and I. I just love it. So he did a great job. I highly recommend him. And I drop shipped him some blank covers, and then he worked this up for us. So super happy with that. That's going in the Forever collection, and that's it. So sorry this one ran a little long, y'all, but you know how it is with the con hauls. You can't really break them up to show favoritism to one or the other, so just got to show them all, right? So that's my quick little comic haul, and I thank you all for being a part of this. I've had a great time on YouTube so far. Just absolutely, I tell you, the collecting and the support that occurs after you get on YouTube is crazy. People help you find books. They help you sell books. They open your eyes to new types of collecting and new types of books and things that you can pick up. And really, I feel like my collection has just grown enormously, not just in size, but in value, and in the curation of it has just been absolutely fantastic since I joined YouTube. It really has made it a very well-rounded collection, and one that I'm super proud of. Way more proud of it than I think I would have been if I just was collecting blindly, because I used to do that. Just kind of collect blindly, and now it's a nice and focused, tight collection with lots of great books and great stories too. So thank you all YouTube for this, and coming up on 400 subscribers. I'll be dropping a subscriber appreciation video pretty soon. Hope you all can enter in on that, and we'll get some more great books out of my collection and into yours. All right, well that's it. Be sure to catch our No Faces comic chat on Monday nights. We're gonna have some great guests coming up too, and as the con season winds down, we'll be showing off all these great signature books and sketches and everything else we've been getting. So that's about it. Y'all have a great day, and I'll catch you at the No Faces comic chat. All right, when you get done with all these videos, read a comic. Bye.